What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So as you guys can tell by the title of the video, we're actually going to be talking about a show that I watched last night for the first time. This show is called Skin Tight. Now, if you're not familiar with Skin Tight, the basic premise of the show is that it follows people that have lost a massive amount of weight, and then they are obviously left with loose skin, and the show kind of documents them a little bit before they get the surgery, and then it documents their journey of getting the surgery, and then obviously like the big reveal that they have to their friends and family after they get the surgeries and they're all healed up.
I hate my skin. It makes me feel gross and nasty. I'd get rid of the extra skin in a heartbeat if I could. I've come so far, yet still I feel like nothing's changed.
So the way that I actually stumbled across the show was I was actually watching My 600 Pound Life, which I am addicted to right now. It's so much fun to watch. But there was a preview for Skin Tight that was going to be coming on afterwards. Now, I was actually watching a pre-recorded one, so I wasn't able to watch it, but I was watching it at my girlfriend's house, and I said, hey, can you record one of these episodes so I can watch it? Because I really feel like, I mean, it's just, obviously I have loose skin, so I was just like really interested in seeing the show. So when she told me that she recorded it, I went over there and we were able to watch it together. When I was watching the episode, I was actually taking notes on my phone, so if you see me looking down on my phone, that's why. But the episode that I actually watched, there was two people, but there was one lady that I really resonated with, and I really felt like we had a lot of things in common, so she's gonna be who I'm focusing on today. So the lady's name is Mickey. She's 32 years old. She lost 279 pounds, and that's how she was left with the loose skin. So her high weight was 399 pounds, and she got down to 120 pounds. Mickey actually got the gastric sleeve, which is a weight loss surgery, and that's a big part of how she was able to lose the weight. Now, obviously, I've always said it doesn't matter really how fast you lose the weight. You're gonna be left with loose skin. If you're losing 279 pounds or 100 pounds or whatever it might be, like once you break over like 75 pounds, most people are left with loose skin. Everyone's different. It really depends on how old you are. There's so many different factors that go into how much loose skin you're gonna have. So that's why when people ask me like, I have this much weight to lose, do you think I'll have loose skin? I'm like, I don't know. Like your skin can look completely different from someone that has lost the same exact amount of weight as you have. So the reason that I feel like I actually have a lot in common with Mickey was she was actually someone that really enjoys going to the gym. She really enjoys fitness. So obviously we have that in common. And it was actually really interesting because I was looking at her loose skin, and the way that her belly kind of hangs, she has like, her belly kind of goes like this and it comes into a point right here. And that's exactly what mine looks like. So it was just like a lot of things I was like, wow, this is really interesting, because again, I share a lot in common with this woman. Another thing that I really liked about the episode was, as you guys can see, Mickey is very, very skinny. Like she is very, very low body fat. And it was actually really cool because the doctor that was going to be doing the procedure actually was concerned about that. And he wanted to check her blood levels, and he wanted to make sure that she was, you know, eating enough food. They actually found out that she was really low in iron, so they put her on an iron supplement. And then they said, but we can actually do the surgery. And she was obviously really excited, and I was really happy for her because it was something that she really wanted to do. But I thought it was really cool that they brought that up, and they actually kind of talked about it a little bit in the episode, was that people that lose a lot of weight, a lot of times people actually end up with deficiencies, or they'll actually end up with like eating disorders, bulimia, anorexia, because you go from this thought of like food is everything to you to now food is your enemy and you need to avoid it at all costs. And that's what it seemed like she was going through, but they actually determined that she was pretty much healthy other than that iron deficiency that I mentioned. In the episode, they decided they were going to be doing two different surgeries to get rid of her loose skin. So the first one was her abdominal area, her breast. She actually got a breast lift, and I think she got breast implants as well. And then she did her butt as well. And this was really cool. They actually took some of the fat, again, she didn't have much, but some of the fat around her hips, and they put it in her butt because she was so low body fat that she needed a little bit there. And then the second surgery was actually her arms, her armpit, and her legs. Her legs were probably the worst part, just as far as how they looked. There was a lot of wrinkles there, and so that was the second surgery that she ended up getting. Now here's the kicker. This was really interesting to me. So in her first surgery, she only got rid of 1 pound of loose skin. 1 pound, and that was all in her abdominal, in her breast area, her chest area, and her butt and everything, right? That was only 1 pound of loose skin that they got rid of. And then the second surgery, well, this is where they operated on her legs, which were the worst, you know, the part that looked the worst, had the most wrinkles. You feel like there'd be a ton of loose skin there. They only got rid of 0.66 pounds of loose skin. So they got rid of less than 2 pounds of skin on this woman, and it was 2 pounds of skin that was causing all of this stuff that was going on with her. And I felt like that was unbelievable to see that. The reason I felt like that was so interesting is because people always ask me, how much do you weigh, right? And I'll tell them I weigh about 205 pounds. And then they ask, well, how much do you think you'd weigh if you didn't have loose skin? And I've never really known how to answer that because I genuinely don't really know. Now, she is definitely a lot leaner than I am. She has literally like almost no body fat on her. So she doesn't have, all of that skin is like legit only skin. They're not getting rid of any fat. So I've seen other people that have gotten loose skin surgery that they have like 30 pounds of loose skin or like 15 pounds of loose skin. But a lot of times when I'm watching them take that off, you can see that there's actually a lot of fat left with that loose skin that they're taking off. With her, it was literally just skin. There was no extra fat, there was no excess fat, and that for me, I was like, wow, that's crazy that less than 2 pounds of loose skin can make you look so incredibly different. So she gets all the surgeries and everything, and then she does the big reveal at the end of the show with her friends and her family and her husband and her kids, and everyone's really, really happy. Obviously, you know, shows like that, they need to have that ending, so they did that, and everyone was really happy. She was really happy, and I'm really happy for her. So it was a really interesting show, but now I kind of want to share my thoughts a little bit on just the general premise and on this episode. Now, before I go any further, I do want to say that I really enjoyed this show and I plan on watching a ton more episodes. So any of the comments or any of the criticisms that I might have, just understand that it's coming from a place that somebody that actually really enjoyed it. So I just wanted to share my thoughts. Someone that has lost a lot of weight, still has loose skin, and has no plans on getting loose skin surgery in the future. The first thing I want to say is that obviously in this show, they're focusing on people that want to get surgery and really, really despise the skin that they have. And so obviously everyone in the show is like, this loose skin is ruining my life. This loose skin is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It's all I think about. I just can't wait to get rid of it. And obviously, like, if somebody feels that way, that's completely valid and I have nothing wrong with that. But for someone like me and someone that's in the public eye, whenever I say that I don't have as much of an issue, whenever I say that I don't struggle with it as much as someone that like Mickey might have been struggling with it, people start to think that I'm like lying and I'm not being truthful. And I think that that's, I don't want to say that it's a bad thing, but again, like, understand when people are watching these shows, I want them to think of like, okay, this person obviously really, really dislikes their loose skin, but there are, like, you can have loose skin and not be completely mortified by it, and it can also like not completely ruin your life. One of the things I really like about the show is that it's making loose skin a little bit more normal. People are seeing it more. Now, obviously, I would love if the show kind of showed somebody that was getting loose skin surgery, not because they were like, they felt like they looked disgusting or because they felt like the skin made them a freak, but because maybe they just had to get rid of it because medically, like, they were getting rashes or they were having issues. Like I've always said, if I were to ever get the surgery, I feel like mainly the reason I would do it was if the skin was actually causing me like physical pain. Right? There are people that you get backaches and you have issues because you have so much skin that's hanging down, or if it was causing me like rashes and things like that, then I would get rid of it. But it wouldn't be because I feel like I'm disgusting. It would be more because like this is not comfortable anymore and I really need to get rid of it. But again, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is just my opinions on the show and what I think. I just felt like it was really interesting because, again, somebody that's in the public spotlight that has loose skin, that has dealt with it, seeing a show that is all about loose skin and getting rid of it, I felt like it made sense for me to talk about this. Now, so before I end this video, I do want to make a couple of announcements, but before we get there, I want to know what you guys think about the show. If you guys like it, if you guys don't like it, I would love for you guys to leave a comment down in the comment section down below. So the two announcements, one is really exciting. I'm actually going to be going to the CrossFit Games with my girlfriend, Amanda. So I mentioned this on my second channel, but I just wanted to put it out there for you guys. If you guys are going to be in Madison, or if you guys live in Madison, you have a gym that you go to that you would, you know, love to invite me and Amanda to, preferably CrossFit, because that's probably what we're going to be doing because it is for the CrossFit Games. I would love to hear that. So if you guys could leave a message down there or maybe DM me on Instagram, that would be really cool. But I'm really, really excited to be going to the CrossFit Games again. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen this year, but it is. So if you are going to be in Madison, please hit me up. So the second announcement is actually really terrible news, and I didn't know how to bring it up, but I really felt like I wanted to talk about it. So actually, a couple days ago, I found out that a friend of mine from high school actually ended his life, and it was really hard to hear. We weren't the closest in the world, definitely not, but he was someone, when I was in high school, especially when I was bigger, he was always very kind to me, and not that like that kind that you felt like he was just being nice because he had to be, just genuinely a nice guy, and always very happy. And so hearing about him taking his life was really hard for me, and so that's why kind of the past few days I haven't been very active on social media. I posted about it and stuff on Instagram and stuff and on Twitter, but I wanted to talk about it in a video because it affected me. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that are struggling, and there's a lot of people out there that feel like they're alone, and I just want people to know that you're not alone. And there's always somebody that's going to be affected by you taking your life, you know? And I'm sure he probably didn't even think about me at all when he was deciding to make his decision, but you know, it will affect so many people. So just understand that there's people that love you, there's people that care about you, there's people that want you to live, you know, there's people that want you to, that enjoyed your presence and that you made an impact on, and that will miss you if you decide to leave. So I just implore you to, if you are struggling, please talk to somebody. I'll leave a link down in the description if you guys, you know, want to talk to somebody. I'll make sure that you're able to do that. But I didn't want another day to pass without me talking about this, and I didn't want another day to pass without me really sharing my feelings and just kind of remembering him. So yeah, that's going to be the video today. I'm sorry that it's ending on kind of a sad note, but this is life, and I wanted to bring this up. But I do appreciate you guys watching the video, and I'll see you next time.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.